Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. Things are heating up down south, and I'm not talking about the temperature. Andy's got the rundown.
Sam, today Carole Vilardo, president of the Nevada Taxpayers Association, joins us to talk about the good, bad, and the ugly of Nevada's new taxes. And speaking of ugly, Sam, today we begin a look at political corruption in Las Vegas and how it will affect us. Sam?
Thanks, Andy. And coming up on the Pundit panel, Brent, Busboom, Ernie, Adler, and Don Gibbons. It's all coming up next on the all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by Charter Communication.
The Abowed family has an appetite for dialogue. Agree or disagree, have the conversation. All opinions are welcome. Since 1977, Adele's.
Catch a straight, dine at 8. Lucky you. Lucky you. Dance till 1. Have some fun. Lucky you. Lucky you. Taste the shrimp. Have a sip. Try the pool. Play it cool. At the Sienna Hotel Spa Casino. Lucky you.
The biggest risk your company can take.
Well, Barbara, you did very well on your interview.
Hiring employees can help your business get to the next level.
And your resume looks outstanding.
And it can also expose you to corporate crimes and costly lawsuits that can bring your company to its knees.
So, we'd like to offer you a position.
Before you hire another employee, hire the professionals at Employer Links. Call today to get our free CD-ROM, The Top 8 Risk of Hiring Employees.
If you own a business and want to maximize your company's potential, join the Retail Association of Nevada. Our membership benefits include the Nevada Retail Network Self-Insured Group, providing workers' compensation coverage that can lower your rates. That savings can go directly to your bottom line. We are an effective pro-business organization that lobbies on behalf of our business members. The Retail Association of Nevada, protecting Nevada businesses for 35 years. Call 882-1700 to see what we can do for your organization.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad, political analyst Ande Engleman on No Holds Barred Political Forum. Now, from the News 4 Broadcast Center, here's Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we welcome back to the program Carole Vilardo. She's with the Nevada Taxpayers Association, and when she speaks, everyone listens. Welcome, Carole.
But do they always heed?
I was just going to say, gee, could I have that in writing or something?
Absolutely.
I wish I had.
All right, Carole, this is the first chance we've had to talk to you since the session ended.
Right.
Finally. Was this your worst nightmare come true?
It was a horror. I can't say more than that. I've
Yes, you
covered...
do.
You have to. You got two segments.
yes.
well, I've covered sessions since 1973, and this was terrible.
Okay, for the public's benefit, because they don't understand the inside baseball, why was it terrible?
It was, well, from tax perspective, and let me qualify that. It may have done some wonderful things in other areas. I can't address that. But when it comes to the fiscal issues, particularly tax, what we came down to, and I think you guys know it, I've always said devil is in the details. We historically have done taxes at the last minute. You do major taxes, you do not have time to vet them. And we're paying for that right now. Or I should say the Department of Taxation and Tax Commission is paying for it right now. For example, there's been a huge controversy on exactly how one of the sections dealing with financial institutions is treated. There have been questions about how you are going to audit self-insured employers who can take a deduction against the payroll tax because of the HIPAA rules. Now, can this be straightened out? We hope all of it can be straightened out.
You have to explain
I'm
the
sorry.
HIPAA rules.
HIPAA rules are the Health Insurance Portability and Privacy Act.
You know, I remember that. I got a letter on that.
Oh, do you? I've never heard of it.
Okay, you have the live entertainment tax. Now, on its face, it would seem to be pretty clear-cut insofar as live entertainment. However, now we're going to have the Tax Commission adopt the rules as what's live entertainment. So, Sam, before we started taping, you were talking about Hot August Nights. Now, I assume that's a non-profit, but there's a great deal of entertainment that is put forth by the hotels out in the street.
Right.
Is it taxable or not? And how do you know at what level it's taxable? And when I go visit the winery in Pahrump, who does outdoor venue entertainment, when the department comes in to audit 2 or 3 years from now to see if the receipts were correct, and I'm outdoors, how am I going to prove that I had under 300 seats, between 300 and 7,500 seats to charge 10%, or over 7,500 seats because then I only charge 5, and I don't charge it on food and admissions? Those are things that should have been taken care of. Those
What
are
about
details.
brothels?
Well, the issue of brothels, most of the legislators, from the testimony during regular session when we were discussing an entertainment amusement tax, not this hybrid that finally came through in session, was a discussion about catching brothels. During the last special session, when in the last 3 days you literally had these bills come up that were not flushed out with detail until roughly 4 hours before they were voted on, where anybody started to get an inkling of what the I's and T's would be that were being dotted and crossed, we thought brothels was in. But last minute, literally, there was an exemption for 300 seats put in the bill, that if you were an entertainment venue with under 300 seats, there was no tax. Well, it seems that most brothels don't have 300 seats.
What about beds? Are we counting those?
Tax Commission's going to have to determine that, and they can only determine and do what is within the parameters of the law they've been given. There have been people I know, because I've had calls from legislators, but you know what the intent was. Yeah, I may know what the intent was, but I'm not quite sure the bill says that. Will it withstand a legal challenge if the Commission tries to rule what the intent, to create a regulation for what the intent was?
But who's going to challenge a regulation that takes them out of a higher tax? I mean,
you can have another company who's stuck in with the higher tax challenge the companies that might wind up with the lower tax on the basis that it is unequal treatment under the laws of taxation.
I want to go back to what you were talking about with the entertainment tax. Currently, the companies that license music, ASCAP and BMI, are the two biggest, actually have figured out a way to be able to tax places that play music in their establishments, bars, restaurants, etc. So there is a formula. It's not particularly a good formula. I hear lots of horror stories about how they go about doing that. But at least there is some kind of basis that's used currently from the industry in terms of being able to figure out how to tax.
Well, the provisions within the bill, though, speak to how you impose the tax and when you impose it are based on number of seats.
Well, and to an extent, ASCAP and BMI do the same thing.
And the Commission may very well wind up looking at that.
It would be a very ugly thing if they do, because I hear nothing but horror stories.
Well, then we really won't tell them about it, will we?
Listen, let's take a break. We'll come back more with Carole Vilardo. Believe me, she knows what she's talking about. We'll be right back after this.
Interest rates remain at all-time historic lows. Now's a great time to purchase or refinance in the Northern Nevada area. Hi, I'm Valerie Hedlund, Operations Manager of CTX Mortgage. We pride ourselves in giving face-to-face service, local processing, local underwriting, immediate loan approvals in a private and professional office setting. We at CTX choose to do business differently. This is our local team of processors and operations staff that are dedicated to providing you the highest level of service. Please call any of the loan officers on our CTX team.
Would you like to savor a Trento pork chop? Or maybe pasta rags with grilled chicken? Hugo's Tuscan Grill at D'Andrea is a celebration of color, flavor, and freshness. Each dish is created from natural, wholesome foods that is delicious and nutritious. Hugo's is a comfortable restaurant with breathtaking city views. If you enjoy great food and good company, visit us here at Hugo's. It's the best that dining can be. 2900 South D'Andrea Parkway in Sparks.
Welcome to Sushi Club, best sushi in town. The Sushi Club in Independence Square uses the best quality products. The sushi is dynamite, and the service is just wonderful.
The Sushi Club is bigger and better. We have 11 sushi chefs on staff, and the service is great.
All your friends will tell you that Sushi Club is the best place for the best sushi.
Come join us for lunch or dinner.
The Sushi Club, 294 East Moana Lane in the Independence Square.
Now that's great sushi.
If you love good food and you like good wine and all in a beautiful setting, we've got the perfect evening for you.
The Event Center at Red Hawk, Michael Mondavi Wine Dinner, Chef Ken and his fabulous food, 4 courses paired with Michael Mondavi wines. It's going to be fantastic.
Oh, it sounds perfect, Al. It's all coming up on September 18th right here at Red Hawk. Make sure you call early to get your reservation in. It's going to be an evening not to be missed.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and Ande Engleman.
And we're back with Carole Vilardo, president of the Nevada Taxpayers Association. Carole, I wanted to ask you, last week the attorney for the Tax Commission was quoted in one of the newspapers as saying that he felt certain that the regulations would in fact accommodate most of these businesses and so forth, that feel they shouldn't be taxed that high.
Well, I think what you're going to do, again, the Commission has always been very receptive, as the department has, to getting input. They will be looking as much as possible at a history, which is very sparse, from the second special session and the first. And within the confines of those parameters, they will be adopting regulations. You have a number of attorneys right now who are viewing provisions in the bill differently that would set the parameters for the regulations to be adopted. So depending on ultimately how they come down, may determine whether or not an attorney feels they were adopted outside the scope of what the parameters were.
Okay, let's talk some broader perspectives here. Winners and losers. Did gaming win? Did business win? And you obviously represent businesses, but they include gaming.
I don't think anybody won this session, including the taxpayers. And I don't think they won because this was a session that, whether you like the task force report or not, and most people agreed with it, what they did not like was the gross receipts element, which was an element that favored government, not business, relative to terms of having stable revenue sources. I think the problem that you had occur is that when you can't vet out, when we didn't work off of those bills and try to adjust them based on policy decisions made by the legislature, those bills had a great more detail to them than what we're dealing with right now. And I think that's where everybody lost. Gaming didn't win, per se, and the business community didn't win, and the taxpayers, and I think government lost too, because we had the opportunity this time to do some things to stabilize out the revenue base. We have some tax laws on the books that have been there for over 50 years. They don't fit today's economy. They don't fit the way we do business. We did nothing about that. The closest we did to anything was we finally gave the Department of Taxation some money to try and bring their computer system into the 20th century. I'm not even sure we're doing it to the 21st yet.
All right, Carole, a couple of things. First of all, Jeremy Aguero, who was a consultant for the Tax Commission.
Right.
Committee.
Task force.
Of course, you're right. In a presentation yesterday was reported to have said, this is good, they passed taxes that the average person won't be paying.
The average person will not directly see that they are paying it.
But
they'll pay it. A tax to a business is an expense. To the extent that competition allows you to pass on the increased cost, you are going to do it, and that's bottom line. Because that's what the business has to be concerned with.
Right, and if every business decides to pass along a tax, then the taxpayer pays it. Okay, we've got 18 months Lord knows you probably don't want to hear about this at this point, or maybe you've had enough sleep, I'm not sure. But we've got 18 months, we're going to have the same governor.
Who knows about the legislature?
True, I didn't bring them up. But what should we be doing now, right now, to prepare ourselves on day one of the next session, that we're ready to move ahead with a plan that makes sense and that all the parties can at least agree on the shape of it?
Well, I think the first thing is you can't constantly change your tax system, and you don't want to go in and do major changes next time. That is a very bad message for people who are trying to plan for economic development. I think what you want to do, and interestingly enough, this is probably one of the better provisions, if you can say that about any of the provisions in the tax bill, that the Department of Tax and Tax Commission have to identify for the legislature all the problem areas that they have. So at the very least, what we're going to be looking at is trying to get the definitions that we needed, cleaning up some things that we have found have become problematic and didn't lend themselves to regulations. We will have some tax issues because we did take, and we have a sizable amount of money in this budget that was one-shot money, not reoccurring money, and we have spent it on ongoing operational expenses. So you know, unless we have double-digit increases in all of our existing revenues, we're going to wind up with a hole for the next biennium budget, which is going to have people talking taxes again. So yes, you're right, I don't want next session, but it's going to come and we should be ready for it.
Okay, we just
go ahead.
Go ahead. There's a legislative tax committee now.
Right.
Can't they be looking at some of these outmoded laws and so forth and then
You hope they will.
Okay, so we are hoping that they will take care of that.
Exactly.
Are members of the tax commission paid on the tax commission?
The tax commission right now is going to be one of the most overworked, underpaid groups of individuals in the state. They're paid $80 a day for each meeting. We raised the issue early on in saying if you're going to give them this much work because of the other areas, then constitute them like the Gaming Commission. That's a part-time body that spends an awful lot of hours, which Tax Commission does and will be doing, and they get $50,000 a year.
Or we should make it an elected position. All kinds of benefits. Carole, thank you so much for being here. We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers with the Pundits after this.
Before you head to Carson, take care of yourself with a visit to Tamarack Junction. Catch a hot cup of coffee and the morning news on one of our 32 TVs and enjoy the best food in South Reno. Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway.
The Abowed family has an appetite for dialogue. Agree or disagree, have the conversation. All opinions are welcome. Since 1977, Adele's.
Today's lesson, another reason to take the Gold Rush Club Card Challenge. With the Gold Rush Card, you really have 3 cards in one. Use your cash back. You still keep your comps and drawing tickets. Use your comps. You still keep your cash and drawing tickets. And with your drawing tickets, you could win thousands in cold hard cash every week. And still keep your cash back and comps. Does your club add up? Graduate to the Gold Rush Players Club. It's the smart thing to do. The Gold Dust West, south on Keystone, east on 4th.
When you sign up for Wells Fargo Free Checking, you get more than free checking. You get the freedom to bank when and where you want. Wells Fargo, the next stage.
Make your daily commute easy with breakfast or lunch at the Tamarack Junction. Enjoy daily specials, super fast service, and South Reno's freshest morning meals. Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and Ande Engleman.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, before we introduce the pundit panel, I want to just get a background on the hot story that's coming out of Las Vegas right now on this corruption.
There's FBI investigations going on in San Diego and Las Vegas. It regards topless club owners, the contributions they've made to city councilmen, to county commissioners, and also some development companies, contributions they've made. Evidently, Erin Kenney, former candidate for lieutenant governor, took some money where she's alleged to have.
Like $200,000 to try to move offshore?
They have a phone tap of her trying to find a place to stash the money. It's a big deal.
And the thought is that this is going to go way beyond where it is right now.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, let's introduce our pundit panel and we'll talk about it. Teacher Brent Busboom is with us, and welcome back to the program again.
Thank you.
Don Gibbons and Ernie Adler, welcome to you all. Don, I want to start with you. What's your thoughts on hearing this news?
Well, it's very disturbing. I think it's very bad for the state of Nevada because this will make national news, and we've worked so hard to have a clean image of our state, and to think that people that, in fact, this is a person that's involved that we almost elected as lieutenant governor, and that could
I don't think it was that close.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing, huh?
Yeah, right.
Ernie, you worked in the AG's office. You dealt with cases like this. What are your thoughts on what you're hearing so far?
When I was chief criminal deputy, I dealt with some FBI cases, and I've reviewed wiretaps in the past. This is extremely serious because I think what's going to happen is this is going to unroll in both San Diego and Las Vegas, and it's going to sweep up a number of people in it. And with Erin Kenney apparently testifying before the grand jury and turning essentially state's evidence, we're going to see a number of business people and politicians, I'm afraid, swept up into this thing.
What are we getting from some of the columnists in Las Vegas is that people are being shown and listened to the tapes that were made of them, and they're being persuaded to roll over. And so it's going to be interesting to see how many people they catch.
Well, I think their choice is staying home and watching their children grow up or going to federal prison. There's not a lot of choice there.
Brent, what do you say to your kids in school when they come and ask you about things like this?
Well, it's always distressing when you have politicians who are corrupted through money, but the cynical side of me wants to say I'm not surprised. I mean, we look at the president's close association with Kenny Boy at Enron, and I mean, it's really a national pattern that starts at the top and kind of moves its way down.
Okay, Don, you want to respond to that? Because that's kind of tarring a lot of people with the same brush.
Yeah, well, interesting you say Enron, because so many people in Nevada did receive money from Enron, except for my husband. He was the only one.
Her husband's Congressman Jim Gibbons.
But yeah, well, you know, I hate it. It's terrible. It's just unacceptable in public service. And you know, it's like being an attorney and then also being a public servant. Nothing could be worse, but we have to improve the image, and I think it starts with, you know, teaching our young people that public service is an honorable thing, and you know.
Well, okay, both of you guys, you know, Don, you currently serve in the legislature, and you did previously. You know, were you approached by people in terms of trying to bribe you to go to a certain place?
I was never approached by anybody to bribe me, and I think the Nevada legislature, quite frankly, is a very clean institution from that standpoint. But you always have the problem in politics in that somebody who's a billionaire, quite frankly, has a lot louder voice than somebody who has a normal job. And that is a problem, and that's a huge problem in American politics today when you're speaking about raising hundreds of $millions of dollars for a presidential race or even a local assembly race.
But when you think about the topless and these clubs like Ghilardi, you get back to the public's voice is so important, because look how they did. They were going to put Susie's south of town, and those people out on South Virginia, the residents got together and went to the county commission and they fought it and they won. So the public's voice is just so powerful.
I think a small group of concerned citizens can make a difference, you know, and history's proved that to be true.
Okay, let's go to another subject here, which would be the leadership in the Senate. You want to address the situation with Senator Raggio and whether he's going to continue to be the majority leader or not?
Senator Raggio will be the majority leader, and he's the finest public servant that's ever hit our state. He has really done so much for northern Nevada, and I'm very disappointed that someone would try to unseat Senator Raggio. I think he's one of the kindest people. You know, you wouldn't think that, but he really tries to be even-handed and help people and reapportionment. Senator Bernice Matthews is a Democrat. He took care of her. He's very fair, much fairer than other legislators.
Can I explain the story?
Absolutely.
What I understand is that, led by Sandra Tiffany, there's a group in the Senate Republican caucus that wants to basically give Senator Raggio a choice, that either he step down from being majority leader, that's of course if he's reelected in the next election, and keep his Senate Finance chairmanship, or give up the Senate Finance chairmanship. They feel that there's just too much power in those two seats.
Well, I think that would be a mistake for the Republicans, quite frankly, because Bill Raggio is one of the most powerful legislators ever, and he's had an immense impact on the state, and I think diluting his power would be a mistake for that caucus, but that's just
okay, we've
my
got time
opinion.
for one last question. Don, Harry Reid says that your husband would make his toughest competitor, and he hopes he doesn't run. What's the word?
That's so nice.
What's the word? Is he going to run or not?
My husband's in Russia right now, and he will be home Saturday night.
Just a yes or no would be good.
I don't know.
We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers. This is going nowhere.
Tell him not.
Big Apple Pizza, best pizza in Nevada, take one.
Today we're making homemade meatballs for a meatball parm. You like cheesesteak? I think you're like in South Philly right now. It's the best cheese ever made. Now that's how a Philly cheesesteak's supposed to look.
And here's little Cole.
This is authentic. We'll throw some pepperoni in here. Not gonna be shy about it. I bet you guys didn't know I could do that. Don't skimp on the toppings. Authentic as it gets. Big Apple Pizza and Subs on the corner of Bering and McCarran. A New Jersey guy who knows how to make an East Coast pizza.
Would you like to savor a Trento pork chop? Or maybe pasta rags with grilled chicken? Hugo's Tuscan Grill at D'Andrea is a celebration of color, flavor, and freshness. Each dish is created from natural, wholesome foods that is delicious and nutritious. Hugo's is a comfortable restaurant with breathtaking city views. If you enjoy great food and good company, visit us here at Hugo's. It's the best that dining can be. 2900 South D'Andrea Parkway in Sparks.
It's America's largest historical district, and it's fun for the entire family. Virginia City is where the West comes alive every day, from train rides to gunslingers. Your gang can explore mines and interesting museums, visit historic saloons, and do some great shopping. Virginia City is the ultimate in family entertainment, and it's very affordable. Come up and stay overnight in our hotels, motels, and RV park. Virginia City, the Wild West at its best.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by Charter Communication.
Monday, a very special show. Sam, Scott Craigie, and I are going to look at the process of the legislature and try to figure out what's wrong.
And maybe we can fix it. Good luck on that. Also, remember that you can hear reruns of the show both at 9:30 the same evening on Cable Channel 12 in Reno, Sparks, and Carson City, and Channel 19 down in Gardnerville. And on KOH Radio, they play all 4 episodes on Sunday mornings from 9 to 11. See you next week.
Thank you.